Hi, this is Kylie Koo. Welcome to my studio. So, this is part one of a collaboration with Ash from the YouTube channel Ash's Vision and Diana from ArtfullYours with Diana, and the idea came from Ash. And what we've decided to do is a collaboration on the theme of holiday traditions, and we're keeping that theme very, very broad. So each of us is preparing a background canvas where we will work on it initially and then pass it on to one of the others. So this canvas that I'm working on, I will pass on to Diana. Diana has also worked on a canvas and she's preparing the background, and that will go to Ash. And likewise, Ash is preparing a canvas which will come to me. As well as that, in part one, we are making an embellishment. So again, as part of this video, I'll make an embellishment that will go to Diana, and that circle goes round again. So I started off by drawing a square on my raw canvas. I think it's approximately 11 inches by 9. And I put a very thick layer of gesso on, which I sanded down, just a quick sand, so it is quite a rough and textured layer. And all I'm doing now is to put some different colours of blue on to create that background. Now, in terms of holiday traditions, what I've decided to opt for is during the holidays, it's winter here, and I like to try and get out and walk as much as possible, because at this time of year, you know, it's dark until well into the morning and it's dark early at night, and therefore I think it's important to get out and get some daylight. So I like to, during the holiday period, to try and make an effort to get out and walk. And I love those days where there's either snow or heavy frost, yet the sky is blue. And that's what I'm trying to reflect here, are those days with the blue sky, yet that crispness with either the snow or the frost. But I think those days have amazing colours, and again I'm trying to bring those colours through in this background piece that I'm creating. So here I'm just adding some stencils on of snowflakes, just using some texture paste. And I go around the canvas and put it on wherever I feel that it needs it. So just giving that a very quick dry before I go on to the next step, and that is to add some paper and some washi tapes. Now, the reason I picked this particular paper was that I feel that when you're out walking and you see the snow or you see the thick frost, if you look closely you see different colours reflected in it, and this piece of paper just reminded me of those kind of colours. The other thing it reminds me of is the various lights that you see around at this time of year that people have in their gardens or in their houses. So really reflecting here that as well. So I'm just putting those down with a heavy gel medium, and I'll now apply some various pieces of washi tape. These were just a pack of festive washi tapes, and again I'm just applying them wherever I feel drawn to do so. And I think the gold of the tapes provides a nice contrast to that kind of pale blue and the white of the snowflakes. And in this next step I'm using 3 colours of the Pebeo Dyna range. These are iridescent colours, and I'm just going to show you very quickly how I'm applying these. Just using a palette knife and literally just drawing it down over the canvas. I'm using this particular type of paint quite a bit just now because I'm really enjoying them. They're lovely paints. And if you wanted any more information on them, then please do let me know. And just pulling it down and over the papers as well, really wherever it touches, and if it touches the edge of the snowflakes, then that's fine. And there you'll see I've also added the kind of yellow-green, and I'm going on to add some blue as well, and that's it with the kind of blue added. So that's the 3 colours added. And at this stage I've decided that as far as the background goes, that's enough. It's really quite difficult to stop a piece partway through, but I didn't want to take it any further because this will now go to Diana for her to complete in whatever way she sees fit. So you can see there just how the light is picking up those wonderful colours from those paints. So all in all, I'm quite happy with that. And the idea is that on the loose canvas, it can be either affixed to bars or to rods, again, whichever way Diana wants. So I'm now going to make an embellishment, and I've decided that what I'll do is a tag, and I wanted to create the tag in a way that it could either be attached to the canvas, so it becomes an integral part of the canvas, or it could be used as a kind of standalone embellishment. So I'm starting by using those same 3 colours of the Pebeo paints, and just with a kind of similar technique, just drawing it down over the tag. Now, unlike the canvas, the tag will be an actual finished piece, although obviously, again, if Diana wanted to make any adaptations to it, she'd be very welcome to do so. And I like the way that these paints even play on top of each other. They really do create a very nice effect. And I just dried that very quickly, and now applying that 3rd colour. And you can see the shimmer of that there. So I'm now taking some Tim Holtz Ideology tissue wrap, and I've just got a mix of some PVA and water that I had left over from another project. So initially I look at potentially covering the whole of the tag, knowing that some of the layer underneath will actually show through. However, once looking at it that way, I decide that in fact I want to only put some partial pieces onto the tag. I don't want to cover it entirely with the tissue. So laying down glue both underneath and then on top of the tissue paper, just to make sure that it sticks well. So I think this is a really lovely idea that Ash had to do this, and we did talk about different ways of doing it, whether we should pass one piece, each of us pass a piece around everybody, but decided that this way, one, it keeps down international shipping costs in particular, but it also, it's a nice kind of chain there going round in a circle. So again, just applying some of that same washi tape as I used on the main piece. As I say, I want both the embellishment and the background that I created to have a similar feel to it, so that they can work together or can be used independently. So just trimming the little excess pieces that are hanging over there. And now what I'm doing is taking a little bit more of each of those paints and just pulling it down, dragging it down over the tissue. It's still possible to see the tissue through that, but it's just building up more layers and bringing some of those wonderful colours back to the front again. And with the little drop of excess that I still had left, I just went round the edges. So I've created a very slight border effect around there. So now I've taken an embellishment from one of my craft box supplies, and I've also taken that little tag from my craft box supplies. I'm looking to take a butterfly sticker from another packet and some of those little beads, and I'm just going to stick these down with some glossy accents. Now, the reason that I chose this particular sort of theme, you might say, well, cold weather, butterflies, not here. But funnily enough, one holiday season, a few years ago, I brought something into the house that was in our garage, and this butterfly came out of hibernation. So I very carefully put it back into the garage, into a box with some kitchen towel so there'd be a bit of warmth for it, and it went back into hibernation, and it came out again in the spring. And for that reason I decided to put a butterfly on it, and also this particular mini tag that has a very nice statement that I thought went with that. So the little beads that I stuck down there were really representing a couple of things. One again was the colours that you sometimes see in the snow and the frost, but also the kind of plants and bulbs that sit beneath the surface in the garden just now. Because one of the other things I like to do in the holiday season is to start to look for the plants coming through, those bulbs starting to break through the ground. Because sometimes if we get a slightly milder winter, then they will actually make an early appearance. So there's that tag. And just looking at how I'm going to place that, and also these little white daisies, which I think kind of represent snow, also represents the snow on top of the flowers that are currently out in the garden. And I've also got a little key there from my stash, which I want to incorporate as well. And the statement is, some moments are worth holding in your heart forever. And I was thinking there of that little butterfly and the fact that, that's something I will always remember. Especially the fact that I was able to save it by putting it back away into the garage in something just warm enough to keep it safe during the winter. And just taking one of these little gemstones and going to put that within that sort of bronze colour embellishment. Now I'm making the tag holes a little bit bigger, just using my punch to do that, because I want to put ribbon through it. I also want in some way to attach this tag to it, and ideally I would also have liked to attach the key to it. And just now I'm just looking at how that might be possible and thinking it's probably impossible, and what I couldn't find was one of the little round pieces that you can sometimes attach these charms onto. But I do find a way. So again, I'm just looking at which butterflies is going to be the best size, because they're in different sizes, and I choose the one that I want. And these are already quite sticky on the back, so I don't need to glue that down separately. But I like these because they have the wings that go flat against a piece, but also the ones that stick up, and it means that I can stick that little tag kind of underneath it. So I did actually spend about, I don't know, between 30 and 45 minutes trying to work out how to affix this little key on, and in the end I took a brad, popped it through the top of the key charm, and then popped it through the back of the tag, and I just hold it in place with a little bit of the glossy accents. So I then take these little pearl effect, 3D pearl effects from Dove Crafts in the kind of 3 colours, the blue, the pink and the gold, and just use these in various bits around the tag, just to add a little bit more detail. So as I said, this is part 1 of the video, and I will do part 2 when I receive the canvas from Ash, and likewise Diana and Ash will be putting up part 1, and I'll leave links to their videos either above or below, and I do hope that you'll check them out. Not sure when part 2 will be up. Obviously at this time of year mail seems to take longer than usual, so it will arrive when it arrives. So that's the 2 pieces, the background canvas for Diana now to work on, and the embellishment. So if you liked this video, please do give it the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe. So thanks very much for watching, and see you again. Bye for now.